So, for those of you who are living under a rock, America has just gone through the 2024 election. And despite all of my hopes and my dreams, uh, Donald Trump has won. He has won the presidential election. I wasn't up for the entire thing. I started losing hope around 10:30. Went to bed soon after. Woke up and I was a little astounded by the results. Um, Looking at the electoral map, and obviously not all the votes have been counted yet. Also, sorry you're not seeing anything. This is early in the morning. I'm not doing anything. Looking at the electoral map, um, Trump has won Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. These are the swing states he would need to win. So he has practically won. I don't know if any other votes have been counted yet. Um, but that would leave him at about 266, 267. He would just need Alaska. And he would win. And he's gonna win Alaska. He's won. Trump has won. Um, this is not what I wanted. Um, I think we faced an election between two people who, in my opinion, both kind of sucked. Um, in my case, I voted for someone who I thought would suck a whole lot less, and I thought that was going to be Kamala. Um, but no, Trump is president. And what does this entail? Well, firstly, I want to talk about the implications of this. Again, looking at the map, if what is all shown on here is said to be true, she has done, or she's performed worse than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton at least won Nevada. She has seemingly lost all of the swing states. And most surprisingly, she has lost the popular vote. I'm almost certain she's lost the popular vote by about 5 million votes. Now, I don't want to be a guy who pushes conspiracies or not. I just think it's really it's at most definitely a coincidence that before the election, Trump was constantly spouting that he has a secret up his sleeve. He has tricks that he wants to play. Jesus, it's cold in here. It definitely feels pretty coincidental that he said stuff like that, and not only has he won the Electoral College, he's won the popular vote. However, I think the most realistic option here is that, in my humble opinion, I think 70 million Americans are just stupid. This is a little devastating. What does this presidency entail? Historically, this man has won a second non-consecutive term. That would make him the second president to do that after Grover Cleveland. My fears for this man, I'm hoping that he's just simply incompetent. Because you have to keep in mind, he is now the oldest president to ever run and to ever be elected for office. So there's that. My hope is that he is simply too incompetent and too brain dead to actually function. However, there are problems with that. The man is going to, mark my words on this, he's going to surround himself in his cabinet by people who are only loyal to him, who are yes men, who are sycophants, who are kiss asses. And I think they're going to be the ones running the show. They're going to be the ones throwing the policies around, and Trump being Trump is going to say yes to every single one of them. Why is this a problem? Not only did Trump win the presidency, Republicans overperformed in the Senate, in the House, and they've won most of the governor races. Essentially, Republicans have control over the entire federal system. They have control over the Senate, the House of Representatives, and they've won most of the governor races. Now, some of this was to be expected. A lot of the attempts to fight back were actually predicated on the fact that we assumed Kamala was going to win. That didn't happen. So, if what Trump has said over the past year is true, our country is starting to look not the best, although it never really was. I fear for the state of our democracy at this point. I think most importantly for those with medicinal issues, because Trump has said he's going to put RFK Jr. in charge of that branch. If you're not aware of who RFK Jr. is, you should just at least know that he has some of the worst takes on medicine I think I've ever heard in my life. So there's that. And I think my biggest hope now is that Trump is found incapable of being president, or, something else happens to where he can no longer run as president, that J.D. Vance has to take over. J.D. Vance. And I'm not saying that because I think J.D. Vance would be a better president. I don't. I do think that he agrees with every single thing that Trump says. Most, if not anything. But at least he'd be nicer about it. And it's really... I'm not even joking, by the way. I would be the tiniest bit happier if J.D. Vance was president. So, where do we stand right now as of November 6th, 2024? Donald Trump is set to become the 47th president. The Republicans control the Senate and the House of Representatives. And there are more Republican governors. This is going to be a long 4 years, if it's going to be 4 years at all. It's entirely possible that this is going to be the last election we ever see, ever. At least for a while. Just given what Trump has said, jokingly or not, given what Project 2025 entails, which I think deserves its own little video. But apart from all that, I think the main takeaway here is I think we're screwed. I wholeheartedly think we are screwed. First election ever voting in, possibly the last election I'm ever voting in. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the years. Wholeheartedly, I think the Republican Party, because of the amount of control it has, is going to see a major transformation. There's no longer going to be any branches of liberalism, neoconservatism in the Republican Party. I think most of it is going to morph itself along MAGA ideals, which is scary. And furthermore, I think the Democratic Party is going to need to do some reforms as well. This attempt at bipartisanship has clearly not worked. One of my disagreements with Harris was that she simply refused to align herself with a lot of progressive ideals. It seems that trying to seem bipartisan has not helped. So, we'll see what happens over the next 4 years. I'm sorry, America. We tried, but Trump is now president. the 47th President of the United States. Republicans control Congress. They control the Senate, the House of Representatives. Trump is president. We'll see what happens from here. But yeah, it's been a while since I posted. Figured this was important enough, so there you go.